Take me back to 1969 when the world was watching history being made. Where were you?
I was actually a baby, and my parents were graduate students. They were immigrants to the United States. It was 1969, and it was the moon launch, and of course, Neil Armstrong and the astronauts landing on the moon. My parents actually had to borrow a TV to watch the moon landing.
Your family decides to take this road trip.
As it turns out, they drove by Wapakoneta, and my grandmother has lived all over the world, was really excited about Neil Armstrong and the fact that they were driving through Neil Armstrong's hometown.
My mother suddenly started talking and pleading with us, saying, "Can we stop for a minute?"
It's this really lovely little visit that, again, truly happened. And I happened to share this moment with a very good girlfriend of mine. I think that's where this beautiful movie project then took place.
It's called One Small Visit. More than 5 decades ago, America was a different place.
So that beautiful scene in the diner where they walk in, and of course, this is 1969, everyone stops and everyone stares. My dad is like, let's just get out of here because we're clearly, this is where we may get into some trouble.
It is pretty remarkable, the story that you have today, because it's one that would not happen today, just the way that it all played out.
We do end up in front of Neil Armstrong's parents' home.
There is. His parents still live in Wapa.
What are you doing?
You can't just drop in on people without warning.
Why not?
They knock on the door, and Neil Armstrong's mother opens the door. And not only does she open the door, she invites them in for tea. Neil Armstrong had not only just gone to the moon, but he had also just gone on a global tour after he had gone to the moon around the world, and he had gone to India. And I think she was also just a little bit tickled that someone that had come as far as India, was coming a long distance, wanted to come and pay their respects.
In that moment,
and as it turns out, Neil Armstrong is visiting his parents, and he comes down and has this beautiful conversation. He was incredibly humble and grounded, as was his parents. Somehow Neil ended up being the one to take a picture of our family. So Neil's not even in the family photo. It's me and my family with Neil Armstrong's family.
When we look at 53 years later, where we are now, why do you think it's important that this story is told?
Well, I think there's many different reasons. There's so much in terms of what's happening that are dividing people and creating, polarization. In this moment, as you said, that probably doesn't happen anymore. And how do we go back to those moments where people open up their doors? Sharing these stories and these personal narratives and like sharing stories like this are so important for young people to also hear about, what's going on and where they come from, and certainly to be kind of proud and to embrace that.